Welcome back to the Market Wolf. I am the Market Wolf, where I give you the best bear case, the best bull case, and I give you my opinion. We are looking at a video I did on Trias 4 months ago, and I, in my opinion, called this, and I let you know that we had some work to do, and we were likely coming back down to this box. Check this out, and then I want you to hear the rest of my case, because you've got to understand what's coming for Trias. But at some point, unless the volume really steps up for us, I believe we are going to be breaking down possibly to 1099, and it's right in that range where you definitively need to hold and push out, because if you break there, it's going to be a fast trip back down to this area in the screen box between $5.19 and $7.02 more than likely. Now, that's why I said we've got to put in the work, because this is going to be a liquidity grab. And, you know, some people are going to get shaken out of these positions. And, well, you know, if you're not interested in the long hold and the potential that it can have, as a matter of fact, what we really have to be looking for here is we have to be paying close attention to Bitcoin in the consolidation phase that it is in, because if Bitcoin breaks down out of this bull flag, that will lead to further breakdown likely on Trias and other altcoins. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart right now and the Trias chart so we can have an idea of what might be coming. So on the Trias chart, we're basically just playing the waiting game. We're holding $5.19 right now on the weekly time frame. We could just chop completely sideways in this channel between 519 and 702 and then have further breakdown or then break up. We're probably entering a consolidation right now. We might be trying to find a bottom. It's very difficult to say right now at this juncture, which is why we have to keep a very close eye on Bitcoin to see what it's going to do. In some of these lower time frames, I'm a little shocked. Like I said in my posts on X, if you're not following on X over there, please follow the Market Wolf family over there. I give updates over there pretty frequently. And also make sure you're subscribed here if you're listening on X, because sometimes, well, obviously these videos are uploaded before they're posted to X, so there can be some delay getting them up on X, you know, at times. So you definitely want to be subscribed over here. But just I really anticipated Bitcoin testing that 63,000 to 65,000 range again. And so I'm surprised at the weakness that we're showing here right now, especially when we had some promising bounce. So what could be happening here is a bit of a W reversal. So we could come back down to 59,044.07 again, or even below that, like we wicked below last time. We could even go a little deeper with a larger wick, maybe to shake people out even more, and then go up and back test that 63 to 65. But that does not have to happen. Right? So what we're looking for here is two things on the way down. This is very important. It's going to be important to Trias, sell, quant, whatever you hold. Okay? I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. The last time, you know, this is the same thing that happened last time. We're about to have another bottom here on the 2-hour time frame, also the daily time frame, on that green uptrending support that is this symmetrical triangle / kind of bull flag that we've been in for a while now. And so we may visit around just below 59,000, maybe 60,000. Maybe it doesn't come down too far, and then we start to see significant volume. But what we need to see, no matter what, even if we have a low W reversal and this thing wicks down below 59,000 and then gets support, what we need to see is massive incoming volume on this next push. Because if we don't get it, then we have to be very concerned about total breakdown. What we would not want to see is a daily close below 59,044.07, or really below that green uptrending support, moving up there towards about 60,000 there. If we saw a daily close below there, we've got to be concerned, because if we were to test it several times trying to make it support again and then fail, like we try and test 59044 to get back on top of it and fail, that could very quickly lead to a very fast bleed out and a nice little waterfall all the way down to potentially $52,992.80. Okay, you may hit this Fibonacci, this blue Fibonacci circle first, maybe at about 54,000. Let's take a look at the weekly time frame. There's just not much in the way of support on the way down. So, like, you would probably stop briefly at $56,564.64. You might get a bounce there. You might get support there. Maybe there's a wick down and everything gets sucked back up on buy orders, and we end up back inside this triangle again. But you've got to understand, on the higher time frames, we've been very weak. In the lower time frames, we're experiencing more weakness than I liked. And so right now, overall, this bull flag / symmetrical triangle is looking more bearish than it has in the past. And so we really need to hold, and we need the rest of this triangle to play out in a very, very bullish manner. We want to see a lift off to complete that further measured move, because once you hit that 52,992 level, once you're there, you're talking about a full measured move down over time, potentially to about $38,000, 511. So yeah, $38,511.64 potentially. Now I think it wouldn't go that low. I think you'd catch support at $40,304.14 likely, and you'd hit a big consolidation phase there. And then at that point, maybe you get bullish and you start to try and break out again. So don't get me wrong, I'm not calling for a bear market or anything like that, but it could be a pretty major correction down on the weekly, because that would essentially take us to the 100-day moving average on the weekly time frame. So it would give us a retest. And, right now would be the time that we need to see a bounce on the weekly if we're going to see one, I think. We're really coming up on that time. We're about average on the RSI right now. But unfortunately, we've just had a very, very large momentum break on Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. And historically speaking, when you have a momentum break this big after you've had this much of a run-up, it does not typically end well as far as holding on to the bull flag itself. So this could lead to a larger triangle. Perhaps you could get support at about $46,373.20. And if you got support there and you didn't make the full measured move down, you could then look at potentially really going into a larger topside consolidation phase, and maybe even a new era in Bitcoin where we don't see those kind of major breakdowns anymore and those kind of opportunities at those big lows to buy Bitcoin again. So you could see a larger consolidation phase there, and then eventually a larger breakout with some of these other measured moves that we were looking at, potentially even to $123,000. So it's just, it's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. For right now, things don't look as well as I'd like for them to look. Keep that in mind for your altcoin. You saw what I called on Trias. If you're not subscribed yet, or if you're not following me on X, please do that and share that video. Share this video or that video itself if you want to go into the feed and grab it. Share that with your friends. I call the market point to point. You can go back into my history on YouTube and see that I am very rarely wrong. It is rare. I called the S&P 500 breakout. I called the S&P 500 breakdown. I called the Bitcoin breakout. So I'm making the big calls very consistently. I've never been wrong on a big call. What I have been wrong on is small chop in very tight consolidation phases. And I've only been wrong 3 times that I'm aware of since I opened my account on X on very small chop, not on the broader market picture. And I warned everybody on Trias that it had topped out. I warned them that the breakout was going to fail. And then I kept them posted all the way down now to the very area where I said we would be. And I want to leave you with some hope on that note. Let me take you to Trias really quick. Trias can hold this basic structure, and it does chop around within this triangle. At some point, and I don't know if it's this point or not right here, but at some point it will try and test the top of this triangle for a breakout again. And like I told you, I think it had work to do, and it does. You're going to have to bring in a lot more folks. Now, when we look at the overall picture on Trias, there is a lot of holders and hodlers on Trias overall. And though this move took us down, it was not drastic. Yes, it looks drastic. Yes, the price is drastic, but it's a consolidation. And it doesn't look like, Bitcoin will have to have a major break, right? What we need Trias to do is hold this purple support line here or this red support line here. We don't want it to break below those. So that's your best bear case. That's your best bull case. That's my opinion. We will see you next time on The Market Wolf.